it's Sandy Grayson here at Costa Studios for Colorado Gives Day, and I have another very special guest. It's Mr. Will Jones from the Denver Botanic Gardens.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a nice radio voice and a TV face. That's what my co-host Chris always says, that he has the face for radio or something.
Well, I'm trying to keep my voice up here. I don't want to take it way down here.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's kind of nice.
Well,
do you
thank you.
sing? Can you do a little?
Oh, no. Don't want to do that.
Okay, all right. Let's get serious.
Don't want to scare any of the children at home.
We've been at this for a long time today, so I might be getting a little punchy. All right, so let's talk about the Denver Botanic Gardens. I saw some of the footage that they shot when they were out there the other day. I have never been, but
what you don't like? You don't like
beautiful.
flowers? You don't like the outdoors?
I
You don't like classes?
I'm
you
a
don't like?
kind of new resident to Colorado from Florida.
Okay.
And we have a botanical, they call it the botanical garden, so I keep wanting to say.
Well, botanical, it's pretty much the same thing. But the
Interchangeable?
the difference between a botanic garden like Denver Botanic Gardens and a show garden is that we actually do research and we actually have conservation programs. We do a lot of things to make sure that we're relevant to the community. One of the things that Denver Botanic Gardens strives to do is to make sure that when people come to Denver Botanic Gardens, not only can they see some of the most beautiful plants from all over the world, but they also have an opportunity to sign up for some great classes. If you're interested in any type of urban homesteading classes, because you know a lot of people now like to raise their own vegetables and raise their own chickens and
You
their
can
own
teach
goats.
me how to do that?
We have classes to teach you all kinds of stuff like that.
I have a black thumb. Like I kill everything that it's not a green thumb. Is that the opposite?
Well,
of
you know what? I'm from I'm from the
worst.
East Coast as well, and one of the things I learned, Sandy, is that it's not your thumb; it's the Rocky Mountain region. A lot of the plants that I brought with me from North Carolina, they immediately died when they got here.
Well, I did
thought
in Florida though.
Oh, well. We have classes that can help you get over
really
that too as
bad.
well.
I'm really bad.
But no, if you come to Denver Botanic Gardens, you can talk to some of the horticulturists there. They can help you not only find plants that will thrive in the Rocky Mountain region, but they can get rid of your black thumb and give you a green thumb. Because my neighbors hate me now since I've been working at Denver Botanic Gardens.
Why?
Because I will.
They're jealous.
Yeah, because I will see something in my yard and I'll take a picture of it and I'll bring it to the gardens and say, do I need to keep this or do I need to kill it?
Yes.
And the horticulturists there tell me what to do the same way they can tell you.
Because I can't tell the difference between the flowers and the weeds and the plants. We have kale, I think, that's growing, but it starts to look like all the same stuff.
Well, yeah, a lot of people come to Denver Botanic Gardens to not only see the beautiful plants, but to learn how to beautify their homes. If you don't have a large yard, we have classes that'll teach you how to have container gardens so that you can have a little garden on your balcony, you can have a little garden inside your home. Again, we just want to be relevant, and that's why Colorado Gives Day is so important, because all that money that comes in is helping to keep that programming going, helping to keep the education going, helping to keep Coloradans, people all throughout the Rocky Mountain region, educated, motivated, and happy with the plants that we have here in this high and dry climate.
That's great. Now you do way more than just teaching people how to make their gardens more beautiful. Tell me about some of the other programs that you have.
Well, one of the most popular programs we have is called the School of Botanical Illustration. And we have entry artists and we have people who've been drawing for a long time. But it's a definite art form to drawing plants. And that's a really popular course. People come in from all over the country just to participate in the botanical illustration courses that we offer there.
Yeah.
We also have courses in, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think. One of the most popular ones that we just started is a Gardening 101 class, because a lot of folks our age are into technology. You know, we can operate our iPhones and our iPods and all that stuff.
Our age. I think I'm way older than you.
No, I think you're way younger than I am.
I don't think so.
But no, people are so in touch with technology that the thought of putting their hands in the soil terrifies them. Well, we have classes that will help them learn that it's okay to be nervous, but we will give you the education, we'll give you the information so that you can get started and have a beautiful garden, whether that be a flower garden, whether that be a vegetable garden, because it's not really that hard. You just need to get the right information, and we provide that information at Denver Botanic Gardens.
That's great. One of my colleagues was telling me that you have something called horticultural therapy.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah.
He almost made me cry. He was telling me a story about a little girl.
It's so beautiful to see, and sometimes I get choked up We have more than 40 gardens at Denver Botanic Gardens, our York Street location, and one of them is our sensory garden. And what horticultural therapy involves is people with special needs, people who have challenges. We will bring them to the gardens, to the sensory garden, and through using their senses, they get to taste plants, they get to feel, they get to smell. And I was telling your producer right before we went on air that a couple weeks ago I saw this young man and he smelled a flower and he just jumped and he started clapping his hands, and it was like he won the lottery. He was so excited that he could just smell the plants. And that's what horticultural therapy is all about, is giving these people with these challenges an opportunity to explore their senses and activate things in their mind and give them joy. And for me, it's great that we offer this, but sometimes I find myself, anytime I walk by the Century Garden, I'm peeking in because I know I'm going to see something that may touch my heart that day.
I mean, I have to tell you, I feel that way about moving to Colorado, that I feel like I took a really deep breath. You know, living in South Florida, I never had that connection to nature the way I have in Colorado. So I can't wait to come and see everything that you have. Stephen, one of our other producers, told me about a story about a little girl that was doing the horticultural therapy, and she came and like put her hands in the fountain, and she hadn't spoken before, and she started giggling and laughing, and I mean, I just think that's such an amazing.
Yeah, it's magical, and I didn't really realize this until I started working at Denver Botanic Gardens 5 years ago. And so, you know, I'm not professing to be an expert, but there's something magical about the plants. My blood pressure has gone down. I'm happier, and it's such a magical place. And people come there because it's an oasis. Right after the shootings happened in Aurora, the Aurora Theater shootings, we had a lot of people who just came to the gardens who would find a bench in a nice quiet place to either read or pray or just meditate, just to get back in touch with who they were, just to forget about the madness that was going on at that Aurora, the theater shooting. The same thing happened with Columbine, I was told. The same thing happened after 9/11. A lot of people turn to nature when they just want a little bit of peace. And Denver is blessed to have one of the best botanical gardens in the world, and it's right in the middle of the city. If you go to a lot of metropolitan areas, you have to drive to the outskirts to find your botanical garden. Not Denver Botanic Gardens. We're a couple blocks from the Cherry Creek Shopping Center, a couple blocks from the state capitol. One of the cool things that I was telling your producer about was during lunchtime now, we have people who will come in on their lunch break. You know, they'll loosen up their tie, the ladies will take off their high heel shoes and put on some walking shoes, and they will break out their laptops because we have Wi-Fi now at Denver Botanic Gardens. And people will, that's one of the new things we've added. And people can open their laptop and sit down surrounded by nature and do a little work or have their lunch and forget about work. And it's really, really beautiful. And again, because we're right in the middle of the metropolitan area, a lot of people take advantage of that.
I'm a writer. I wrote my whole book in one of these little coffee shops. I think that's a way better.
Come on down to the gardens. Yeah, I can see you there now, just writing. Hummingbird flies by, you know, other squirrels and plants. I mean, it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Can you like take your shoes off and put your feet in the grass?
Yes, you can. You can. I thought you were going to say it in the water features. We don't want people putting their toes in the water. But yeah, by all means, put your toes in the grass.
That's
reach
the
down
best
and smell.
feeling, isn't it? Like barefoot, just putting your feet in the grass.
Well, we have an amphitheater where we have a lot of our concerts, or all of our concerts, in the summertime. And when the stage is not set up for concerts, kids come. I mean, we have school groups that come to the gardens all the time. And you'll see the kids at lunchtime just rolling down the hill. They'll run back up top and they'll roll in the grass. I mean, it's beautiful. Denver Botanic Gardens is a magical place, and it's a happy place.
So how did you personally end up at Denver Botanic Gardens? What was your journey there?
Well, I spent the majority of my career in television, doing television news.
So you're very comfortable here. Yeah.
Oh, you know, when I'm working with a professional like you, of course, I'm in good hands, people. But I got burned out doing news because I was always the crime reporter, and I had to deal with way too many grieving families, and I needed something new, I needed a change. And the public relations manager at the time was pregnant and she was going on maternity leave. And I learned about the job. I went in and applied, and they hired me. And they said, well, you're only going to be here for a couple months because once the baby's born, she's coming back to work. Well, lo and behold, she gave birth to the most beautiful baby boy ever seen on the planet. And she came back to the gardens and said, I can't leave him at home. I'm going to stay with him. And the CEO of the gardens asked me if I wanted to stay. And 5 years later, I'm still there.
Wow.
Loving every minute of it.
From news to the Botanic Gardens in Denver.
Yeah, it's been a great journey. And again, as I was telling you earlier, my stress level has gone down. My blood pressure has gone down. And there's something magical about the flowers. On those rare days when the PR guy at the gardens is stressed, I literally go outside and smell the roses, and everything is all right.
So what happens when it snows? Like, do you still have stuff to do in the winter
absolutely.
months?
Oh, absolutely. In addition to the classes we have both at our York Street location and at our Chatfield location in Jefferson County at C470 in Wadsworth, we have light displays. The light display in downtown Denver is called Blossoms of Light, and the light display down at Chatfield is called Trail of Lights. And the difference between the two is that the downtown location, you know you're downtown. I mean, it's a beautiful light display, more than 1 million lights, but you can see the city around you. When you go down to Chatfield to our Trail of Lights light display, you're in the country.
Really?
I mean, the Colorado foothills are all around. We have a working farm down there. We have tractors that are decorated. We have a silo. We have a barn. We have farm animals that are running around out there. It gives you a taste of what Christmas was celebrated like in the late 1800s.
Nice.
So it gives people a chance to not only enjoy a beautiful Christmas light display, but you get to kind of go back in time by going down to our Chatfield location. And Blossoms of Light, we've been doing it for 24 years. It's one of the most beautiful displays you'll ever see. And it's open all throughout the month of December. We close on January 1st from 5:30 to 9:30 in the afternoon or in the evening. And people love it. We opened last Friday to a thunderous applause. People love the light display. And it's great because a lot of people will come there right from work. They'll meet their significant other. We have a bistro there, so you can come straight from work, come inside and get you something to eat, enjoy the light display, get you some warm drinks. And then our gift shop is also open. So if you want to do a little Christmas shopping, you can do that there at the gardens as well. So it's beautiful, it's magical.
Tell me, we're running out of time here, but tell me a little bit about what it means to be part of Colorado Gives Day. How is that important to your gardens?
Well, one of the things about Denver Botanic Gardens, as I said earlier, is that we want to remain relevant, and we want to make sure that we're giving back to the community, because Denver Botanic Gardens is a private nonprofit, and we survive because of the donations of the people in the Rocky Mountain region. If people did not give to Denver Botanic Gardens would not exist. So we're thrilled to be a part of this day. We're thrilled to be able to be a part of this community day after day, to make sure that it's a symbiotic relationship. We want to make sure that for every penny that's given to us, that we give people through our light displays, through our concerts, through the beauty of the gardens themselves, through our classes, through everything that we're trying to do to make sure that visitors that come to Denver Botanic Gardens keep coming back, and that they tell their friends about it. And we want to make sure that we continue to do that. And through Colorado Gives Day, we're sure that we're going to be able to, because we're getting donations, and that's what's helping to keep our doors open.
That's great. Well, we are thrilled that you took the time to stop by and tell everybody about Denver Botanic Gardens. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me on the show.
You are fabulous. I hope you'll stick around for our little party that we're having later.
Absolutely. I wouldn't miss that.
Oh, good. Awesome. Well, make sure you go check out Denver Botanic Gardens. I can't wait to go do a little writing and meditating and relaxing. And thanks for being part of Colorado Gives Day here at Icosa Studios. This is Sandy Grayson.